Wilson, and Lucinda joins me. She came all the way up from Mayo to meet the country boy tonight. And Lucinda, you're very welcome indeed.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Thank you.
I better put up your mic.
Oh, yeah.
How are things anyway?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for having me, Tommy.
And that's your new single. Tell us a little bit about it, where you recorded it, and...
Yeah, it's my debut single, actually, my first ever release, and I recorded it at Reekview Studio in Mayo. And it's a song that is very kind of close to my heart, a medley. It was originally recorded by Susan McCann, and my mum loved her in the kitchen when I was young. I used to constantly be dancing around the kitchen to it. So, I just love it.
Come here, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mentioned at the introduction of the show earlier today that I was going to be talking to you, and I said I knew you came from Westport, but apart from that, tell us a little bit about it. I know you don't have a Mayo accent, so you're probably in Westport, but you're not from Westport. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got into the music business in the first place.
Yeah, okay. So I'm from, I was born and raised in London, actually. Irish parents, my mum and dad. My mum is from County Leitrim, and my dad is from County Mayo, from Belmullet. And the reason for me heading to Westport was because I was looking to pursue my singing career, I guess you could say, amongst other reasons. You know, I just always felt a calling back here. I lived in Dublin many years ago for 2 years, so I kind of lived in Ireland before. I was brought up in a very Irish community back in London, and I came back 2.5 years ago now, so yeah.
And when you came back, had you been singing before you come back, or did you just take up the singing when you got back?
Yeah, no, I did a few gigs in London and in Essex. I was living in Essex in Brentwood for a number of years, and I did a few wedding ceremonies, and I did a few pub gigs as well. I did a few gigs back in London, yeah, indeed, and then I moved back here, yeah, and I started my journey.
And as well as doing the country, I was reading somewhere that you do different genres. You could do folk, it could do pop. You can vary around what you would be doing.
Yes, I mean, you know, this is obviously a country medley. I do country music. I was brought up on that, but my mum and dad were always playing different types of music growing up: country, Irish, traditional. The radio was always on, so I have recorded different types of songs. I love all sorts of songs, really. So all sorts of different types of music, really. So yeah.
Yeah, and who would have been a favourite of yours growing up? Any particular one, whether not country or pop?
Yeah, I'd say when I was a teenager, I went through loads of different phases. So I loved all the Irish stuff and the country stuff. That was per se, but I was big into grunge music when I was 16. Believe it or not, I was a massive Nirvana fan. I had my DMs, broke my poor dad's heart, wearing those work boots. But yeah, I like grunge. Then I went into a bit of house music that I really enjoyed. But I loved every type of music, rock music, different types of music. I don't have any kind of limit on the kind of music that I'm open to singing, performing, or listening to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know I have only 3 of your songs yet. Have you an album out yet, or just?
No, I've literally just released a single. Yeah, I've recorded 8 tracks.
Yeah.
And that was just very much because I was in the flow in the studio, and it just happened that way. And yeah, it just happened that way. And they're very different types of songs as well that I've recorded. So eventually, hopefully, it will become an album. Yeah.
Yeah, because I seen you had recorded Caledonia, to name but one, and Blue Rose, which we'll be playing in a wee while. Have you ever tried the songwriting at all? Or
I have. I've only recently. I mean, I've always loved writing. I've always been someone who's very good at kind of writing things, writing letters, writing different stories. But I've never kind of joined the two. I guess I did do a songwriting course, tell a lie, back in London many years ago, and that was many years ago. But recently I did write some lyrics out, and I did it in about 10 minutes. I've written a little song, but I'm not ready to sort of open that up to everybody just yet.
And have you tried doing the venues around Mayo yet?
Yeah, I have done a few gigs, wedding ceremonies. I did one last year, did another one. I was gigging in a pub in Westport, lovely little country pub in Westport there in the summer. So yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good tourist town, Westport, isn't it?
I love it.
People would say during the pandemic, did you do anything? A lot of independent artists during the pandemic went on Facebook and they might have streamed. Did you ever try that at all?
To be honest with you, Tommy, I was literally only starting. It's been about 5-6 years since I've believed, I guess, I was good enough to do it, to put my vocal out there. And since moving back here, the reception I'm getting is just unbelievable. But back in 2020, I was still kind of singing behind closed doors, sharing the odd piece here and there on my Facebook singing page. But I wasn't really ready to make it professional at that point.
And I believe our good friend from London is kind of mentoring you at the moment. Is she Marie?
Mary, yeah, fantastic Mary. Very, very wonderful support. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Mary. I just have to say massive thank you to her and Radio Saf. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mary is very good at promoting new artists. She's put a few of them my way, people who I wouldn't have heard, and it's good to see new faces coming on the scene,
Thank you. Thanks, yeah.
And tell me, did I ask you, where did you record the songs?
Reekview Studio in County Mayo, yeah.
And how did you find the experience? Because you were telling me when you came in here tonight, it's your first time in a radio station, is it?
Yeah, in a studio, in a radio station. Yeah, it is. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It was a little nerve-wracking to begin, but I just loved it because I love singing. Singing is just part of who I am. I can't explain how much it means to me. If I could just sing forever, I would. It's just a facet of myself that I guess has always been with me since I was a child. I always loved singing. And I used to sing in a choir at school, and I used to do various different things. But yeah, it's something that it's like a dream come true, all of this to me.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
And, what are your hopes for, say, 2025 now? Are you mainly just gigging around Westport at the moment?
I am, but I'm very open to more gigs further afield. I'm open to all types of different gigs. To get more gigs, I really would love to expand. I am thinking about social dancing. I do have a keyboard player who I'm working alongside at the moment, so hopefully that will come to pass in 2025. I also want to release another few singles, so
that's the next question I was going to ask you about. The social dancing has become very popular, especially since COVID lifted. There seems to be a lot. Like there's a venue here now on a Thursday night, and it goes out 9 to 11. It's not a late night down the Mulroy Woods, and I believe there's another venue now up in the Lake of Shadows, and they're doing social dancing. And if you got a good old program of songs and got onto that scene,
I would love that. That would be like a dream come true for me because I love nothing more. I mean, I was brought up on that. My mum and dad met at a dance in London, the Gouty Moor, them different places. They actually met in the Green Man, but yeah, they met. I used to go to the Gouty Moor. So them sort of stories are within me. It's something that I would love to do. That would be a dream of mine actually to get into that. So
and Do you get back to London much now, or?
I was back a few weeks ago for a sad occasion, but yeah, I was back a few weeks ago. I was back before that at Christmas. I just feel so settled in Westport, in Mayo, in Ireland. I love it. It's just a home from home for me, so.
It's a great town. It's a great town. Well, it's a good town, but in the summer it's really good. It's a real tourist town, and there should be plenty of gigs going around there to keep you going anyway.
Yeah, hopefully. Please God, I mean, I did get a few gigs in the summer, please God, but I love everything about Westport, from the hiking. I was part of Mayo Sailing Club last year. I've really tried to get myself involved in all the sort of things that go with living in Westport. But I'm open to every part of Ireland is stunning and beautiful. I've got family everywhere, all over Ireland.
Yeah, you've relations, I believe, in Lahey, have you?
I do. My auntie Annie, hi Annie, she's listening at home, and my cousins Emma and Lisa and Jared is in London, and I've got my mum and dad listening in from London. And my family all over Ireland. I've got family in Mayo, Belmullet, everywhere, Leitrim, Longford.
New listeners.
Yeah.
And have you done any gigs up around Donegal? Is this your first time kind of up? Getting airplay on Highland?
This is my first time, yeah. So thank you so much for playing my single.
I'm delighted.
Yeah.
And big thanks to Mary for putting in my way.
Yeah.
It's good to see a few new faces on the scene. And any favourite artists here in Ireland would you be?
I really like the Tumbling Paddies.
They were actually up here on Monday night.
Were they? Oh, I think I saw that actually on your Facebook page.
Just a couple of nights up. We have Paul and Jimmy do the Monday night sessions and the Tumbling Paddies up here.
Yeah, I really love some of their stuff. And there's so many artists I couldn't even tell, but I've always got Midwest on. That's the radio station in Mayo. But now I'm going to be listening to this.
No, nothing wrong with it at all. But did you ever think of going for a Glór chair?
I hadn't until a couple of people have actually mentioned that to me and told me that I should go for that kind of a show. So yeah, I guess maybe if people think that I might be suitable for that, then maybe I should go for it. So yeah.
No, because it's one of those shows, you don't have to win it to get the exposure. Because a lot of the time, people who don't win it do better out of it than some of the people who win it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's other shows as well for that reason. But yeah, I'd love that for the exposure. Yeah, for the promotion of it and for getting me out there and to help me get more gigs and do what I love. Just to get paid to do what I love is
Yeah.
it's like a dream come true, the singing industry, so.
Because there's a local lad here from Donegal now. He did great. He won it this year.
Oh,
Jason,
really?
Jason McCahill, and Jason
wow.
is doing great out of it.
I've heard
he's gone off. He's gone off now to Spain with Highland Radio next September under Bash in the Sun. We started a Bash in the Sun last September, and Jason has gone off now, and he's away every other week. He's great. He's having a great old time.
Amazing. What a life to do what you love as well.
And come here, apart from the singing, do you do something during the day? Have you a day job, so to speak, to keep you going?
I was in an office. I was a secretary, PA, executive assistant for years. I was in recruitment, but now this is my sole focus, the singing. So, yeah.
So are you going working on an album now? Can you give us any idea what you'd like to put on an album?
I don't want to give too much away.
Would you do an all country album, or would you do a mix?
I would love to do a mix, but obviously if people want to hear more country, then I'll do a country album. But the songs that I've recorded are definitely a mix. They are a mix. But there's so many songs. I've got a repertoire. I've got a list of songs, and it's over 200 at the moment, and I'm adding more constantly. So I just don't know.
Yeah, just listen to your melody there. You had in a bit of an Anne Murray song, the Bluebird, the last song you did in it.
Yes.
Spread your tiny wings and fly away.
Fly away. Snowbird, isn't it? That one.
Snowbird,
yes,
that was a big Anne Murray song.
Yes.
What do you think of the present country scene? Would you be into the country music generally, or would you have...
I would.
It's changed big time.
It has. Honestly, I really am, because I think I was brought up on it, Yeah. My mum and dad loved it. There was always John Hogan be playing in the car, Sean Wilson, and my dad loved listening to him. My mum loved Susan McCann, Philomena Begley. Big Tom was always playing, Brendan Shine, Mick Flavin, I mean, I've got family in Longford who, I think have seen him, and, and it's, really talented musicians. So I absolutely love country music. And it's just really exciting to be here and to be part of it as well.
Not at all. And come here, what about videos? Have you thought of, doing a video for any of the songs? Or I think you might have something on Facebook. I tried to go on Facebook to see you doing a video of one of the songs. And whatever happened, something else came up instead of the song.
Yeah, there is a video. JC Productions did that. Yeah, there is a mini video there, but actual full-length video. I haven't got plans, but I may be in talks with somebody about doing something like that. Yeah.
What was a great thing was happening over the last couple of years, and it seems to be gone off here at the moment, when the Keep It Country channel, Phil Max channel, came on. And it was on channel 176 now, but it's gone at the moment. I don't know. I think it's only on... You can only watch them online now. But as well as hearing the song on the radio, you can see the videos people would have done of the songs. Mm-hmm. Social media is coming big time into music now, not only for singers, but for presenters like yourself. Like before and now, if I was talking to you about 3 or 4 years ago, you wouldn't be on Facebook Live. I'd be just chatting to you in the studio. But we're learning all these little tricks, and social media seems to be the way.
It's changed so much, and it's got it now. It means that more and more people can be connected. And music is heart and soul, isn't it? And it can link a lot of people who may be on their own, and, so it can lift people. Even if you're not in the same room, you feel like you're all together.
Yeah. Come here, we're going to play Blue Rose now. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you come across that song?
Oh, I've just heard it on the radio. I heard it back in London years ago, and I absolutely loved it. And I was singing it in the churches and stuff back there. When I was doing gigs, and I absolutely love it.
Well, come here, thanks very much for popping in. It's been a pleasure having you, and definitely have you up, and hopefully the next time you're up the weather will be a wee bit better.
Hopefully, Tommy. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And do you want to dedicate this to anybody now, just before we finish up?
Bright Blue Rose, to all my family and friends who are departed, I think, who have passed, and just for all my supporters, all my friends, family who've been showing me so much love and support.
Well, here it is.
I skimmed across black water without once submerging on to the banks of an urban morning that hungers the first light much more than mountains For she's a perfect creature, natural in every feature, and I